Well, hey everyone, Matt Lombardi here, along with Pastor Will with Island Church. Welcome to what is the first of many, many more to come weekly podcasts for Island Church. I'm really excited, Pastor Will, to hop on with you today. The point of these podcasts is really just to help everyone in the church really understand what's going on, start to feel a little bit more of where God's at work, start to hear some of the stories of life change happen, and also just kind of stay updated on everything going on, because there are a lot of things as we go into the fall busy season. So this weekly podcast will be a great resource to help people stay up to date on everything's happening, and may spark some great conversations as well. So Pastor Will, we're going to open with just a quick broad question. I'll let you have the floor.
Okay.
What kind of exciting stuff is going on around the church this week? Just kind of give us the rundown of what's happening.
Sounds great. This particular week, we've got momentum coming up this Sunday, which always includes a fan favorite, and that is ice cream at 5:15.
Yeah.
And then at 6 o'clock, we're going to get together and kind of recap of the last couple of months, what's been happening, and then actually take a look at what's next in the life of the church. There's just so many good things going on, Matt. We've got, we continue, even during the summer, we have guests coming. Some people that have been guests in the past have come again. They've brought their children. The number of children actually is very encouraging. That we're in the summer, we think about kids leaving, and we're actually having more and more kids coming. We're having people express desire for membership, for baptism. Even some of our senior adults want to get this right before God in terms of baptism. And so we look forward to doing that. We've got new people stepping up into leadership. Sandy and I took some time away. Recently, we're down to Grand Cayman, and I got a chance to spend some time with the fishes under the sea. And while we're doing that, I'm getting images of some of our church family actually taking care of air conditioning problems and camera problems and issues and tech. And it's just encouraging to see several different things happening in the life of our church. And of course, we're really looking forward. We think about the future. We're thinking about the getting connected with an architect that's going to, in a 3-phase process, help us design a building that will help us do the kinds of things we want to do with our campaign and bridge the future to our community and to the next generation and to future leaders. And we really want to help people bridge a relationship with God. And so there's just so many good things happening. Actually, Matt, you're involved with the design of our website, redesign of our website, and we think it's going to be more user-friendly. And there's just so many different good things that are happening. Always transitions. It's when people come and go and move around, and some go away for the summer and things of that nature. But there's a lot of great things happening.
Yeah. I'm excited personally for the website. Obviously, Stacy and I have been doing a lot of work on that along with you, putting a lot of time into that, because it's really such a great opportunity for us to showcase who the church is to the community. When people search online for the first time, that's kind of their front door to the church. So that'll be coming in the next few weeks here. Really excited to get that rolling out. Pastor Will, what do you feel like God's been kind of saying to you over the past few weeks in terms of just a message or something in the Word that you've been reading and that you've been meditating on in your prayer time that you'd want to share with the folks in the church?
Well, I'd love to answer. Let me add one more thing to the other part. Actually, we started another thing that's been started recently in our church, which kind of rolls into our answer. Is we started this casserole ministry where we had someone donate a freezer, and we're having our ladies that are putting together some meals and putting that together, and we're able to take that. And really, what that matters most is that we're able to connect with our community and members of our church family, particularly right now, and demonstrate our love. I think what God's kind of showing me is some of the sermon series. I've been preaching out of Psalms, and we know the Psalms just to carry all range of emotions between our relationship with God, our happiness with that, and our struggles and our challenges. And so as we get through the kind of summary in Psalms, that's been a good thing. But one of the things is just to trust God in the midst of uncertainty. We think about the uncertainty maybe it's in our health, maybe it's in our family, maybe even in our church or in our community or nationally. In the midst of all that, we trust a very stable God. And we just got to walk rightly with him and place our trust in him. And actually, we're almost like the passage that says, help me in my unbelief, help me to believe in the midst of my unbelief. Yeah. And so I believe what God is saying to us is to continue in the faith. And I think also we have to recognize that we're in a spiritual battle. I guess we're probably in a season of our church where we recognize this. Difficulties in churches are normal. This is actually the reason much of the New Testament was written. And so the church is not going to be free from difficulties and challenges. What God is saying is, hey, in the midst of those kinds of things, you just keep pressing into me and pressing into your mission of reaching people and discipling them. And we want to reach men and women and boys and girls for Christ, and we want to see them grow in their faith. And that's what we're going to continue to do, regardless of what's happening around us, or maybe even inside of us.
Right.
problems and challenges are normal. These are all over the New Testament. Paul's writings in Corinthians and Galatians, and you see it in Revelation. You see it in different spots, Colossians, and this is normal. But God is saying, hey, just keep pressing into me. Whether if your problem is personal, it's health, it's family, it's whatever it might be, raising children, uncertainties in the country, just keep pressing into me. And so I think that's what God's kind of saying to me and saying to our church at this point.
It's a great word. It's a great word. How can folks in the church be praying for their church this week? What are some things they could be, asking God for specifically for the church this week?
Well, we're as we transition towards our building, this is going to be a big deal. And for many people in our church, this is a new thing. And what I would just simply say about that, they can just pray about that. We recognize that when the Holy Spirit, as we've been talking about the School of Christian Living, that's just been going great too. I didn't mention that, but just great feedback. But what we've been talking about in there is when God speaks to us, he brings conviction. The Holy Spirit brings conviction. And when the enemy wants to do is bring attacks to us and make us feel that we're less than because we're not as a part or we can't do what we'd like to do. But there's just a lot involved with that. When you try to advance God's kingdom around expanding your ministry significantly, as we're trying to do with the building and trying to reach out to the next generation with children and also to our community, we're going to face spiritual opposition. We do not operate in a spiritual neutral environment. And they just need to pray about that, pray for clarity. We're at a time where we need discernment in the midst of the confusion of the world and the uncertainties of the world. And so they just pray for the encouragement of the church leadership, pray for our people that are away as well for the summer, and then just pray for this project as we try to expand our ministry in the community, because we are the church that God has placed on that island. Thank God for all the other churches that are in the area, but he placed us. And right now we're the only church on the island, and we want to steward that well. We want to speak positively about what we're doing. We want to advance his kingdom. It's his church, and the enemy's going to be at work, and we just got to work against it. We don't need to be fretful, but as Dave Champion, our deacon chair, provided for us even this past week, provided a coin with the armor of God. It's all on that one coin. We all want to put on that armor, and they can pray for the leadership and pray for themselves as they put on the armor as we advance God's kingdom.
Well, thanks so much, Pastor Will. So appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat today. Any last thoughts to leave with folks before we sign off for this week?
No, just to continue to connect with one another and with each other and love one another. And we need to do that even while we're kind of scattered and different things for the summer and we're not quite in the routines. But if we can just make sure that we're checking on one another and that we express love to each other and then express that love to the people around you. Just connect with your neighbors and friends and invite them to our service, even now, not just in the fall, but go ahead now and invite them to be a part of what God's doing in our church.
Pastor Will, thanks so much for your time today. Looking forward to talking with you more next week.
Sounds good.
All right. That was easy. 8 minutes.